Hi and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on our live stream for the Elite Series, League of Legends 2nd Division here in the Benelux region. Tonight I shall be your host and I will be accompanied by none other than Harmless Scarecrow. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, it's amazing to be back. I'm very excited for tonight. I missed casting here. I'm so excited for a great show tonight.
It's excellent. I am really excited to cast with you as well. I mean, last time both of us casted is like what, 4 months ago during our
October. Yeah.
in October our event. And first time casting in English with you, so that's going to be fun as well. And well, tonight we have a slew of interesting matches in front of us, and maybe we can get the schedule in front of us in order to see what's gonna happen soon. So at 7 p.m. in about a minute, well, 7 p.m. for us because of course you at home have a 3-minute delay, so nobody can ghost other teams. We'll have the first matchup with Reapers going against PERTINAX Esports, which should be a pretty interesting match in my opinion. Reapers being very strong, of course. Tonight, I think also back on their normal roster to head on against PERTINAX Esports, which PERTINAX is one of those middle of the pack teams, but you never know with those teams. They can always bring a big surprise
Exactly.
in a game. So, yeah, what is your take on those teams?
Like those teams actually just have 1 point difference. Reapers is 3-2 and PERTINAX Esports is 2-3. I think they're actually pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first match already is gonna be a very exciting match for both teams
Yes.
and for us.
Yes, definitely. I mean, the more exciting the match is, the better we have, or the more fun we have casting it. So that should be very interesting. Well, following that match, we'll have Aoma going up against what once upon a team. And Aoma have been very strong. They've only got one lose against Driftsloves. And, well, okay.
Well,
We'll get to the game. That was quick.
draft. Now we're gonna see is there are gonna be the usual bans with Maokai, Royce, very dominant champions, but no, we see the Caitlyn ban for Reapers. Also very strong champion right now. Just so much poke, so much damage, has a huge synergy with so many supports right now, scales pretty well.
Mm.
It's just a good champion, and it also might be a little target ban.
You've seen a lot of Caitlyn also in general already. The staple lady carries can stay in a safe position. Seen her yesterday as well.
Jax ban, super strong right now. Like when I casted with Threshtana a few weeks ago, he was almost in every game and he was stomping every game. Like Jax right now is just the menace since they changed his abilities, like his soft rework, but also the Varus and Olaf ban. Just both of those champions just so dominant right now, so versatile, just good bans.
Yep. And yeah, the Karma one as well. I think Karma still is the most picked champion here in the Elite Series. Yes, alongside Maokai, followed up by Caitlyn. So,
Ah,
yeah,
see.
some infamous bans here. And now we should be heading into the first picking phase. And yeah, we'll pick Wukong. We've seen a lot of Wukong. Yesterday, I believe Wukong was picked every single game. Not yesterday, 2 days ago, on Wednesday, day one of this week. To the point that I got sick of seeing Wukong. But it's fine, it's been a few days, so you may pick Wukong. I have no issues with that whatsoever, as long as it's kept to a sane amount.
I'm really excited to see Wukong. I always think he's such a strong, engaged teamfight champion and
Yeah.
forces those teamfights. So I'm just excited to see it. And we have Rakan Zaya. That's something I haven't seen in such a long time. I always love seeing those two together on the lane. Like it's just so fun to see them. It's, and
Yeah.
also very dominant. Like really strong together.
Really strong. I love the synergy that built-in synergy they've got. It's really wonderful to see, and I think champion switch in general are really fun to see. I mean, Xayah can do a lot with her ultimate, very cool stuff, and Rakan, of course, always a staple to get those team fights around. And then on the other side, we're gonna have a Renekton already, leaving our top side open to potential counter pick. I'll pick a Sivir maybe for that bot lane, since we know what the enemy has. We can get ourselves a pick we're comfortable with, and that should be able to resist that lane pretty well. I mean, with the spell sheet, you'll already be pretty safe from their aggressivity.
Exactly. I'm just also really impressed by Wind Renekton, right? Of course, it still could be a Renekton mid lane, but it's very respectable because Renekton right now, he's not in the best state unless you go Prowler, like more of an assassin-y burst build. So we have to see if he can manage to pull this build off right now with Xayah Rakan and Maokai, who's locked in.
Yeah, Maokai, who's locked in, wasn't banned yet. So
saw
yeah,
it, they
Maokai being
took
very
it.
strong now. So
They saw it, they took it. It's a good pick. There's the Zoraka ban from PERTINAX Esports.
yes, we do have that support still open, and I mean, we can probably expect that Renekton to be top lane, and Wukong to be jungle. So expecting the mid lane to be still open. Lolo being a very strong mid laner, I would expect a target man against him maybe, because he is a very good player.
Yeah, and there's the Irelia ban for them, the enemy team. Very good ban. Aurelia also did a huge comeback with the Jaksho Modraini sustaining build. Like so fun. Actually played today against it. Like it's it's just crazy. And there's a zillion ban. Zillion also always a staple pick. Mid lane supports. Just it's so difficult to play against a zillion because he's just gonna revive your ally or himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a good ban.
And then finally an Akali ban, go against Merlin. Yeah, we do have the last pick on sides of PERTINAX, so they can always opt to get a last pick. Now the question is, do we want it for top laner? Do we want it for the mid laner? I guess they should pick top lane now, since they already know they'll be going up against the Renekton probably. Get the Sion.
That's the Sion pick,
Yeah.
okay.
That's really funny, because this afternoon, I don't know why I had the thought that just went through my brain, that the train of thought that someone would pick Sion tonight. And then I was like,
Train of thought.
yeah, you see what I did there, right?
Train of thought. I like
I was like, oh no, nobody's gonna pick Sion. Why would someone pick Sion right now? And then there you go. So I'm fine with that.
Sion actually also right now one of the most stronger tanks. Like really so much damage. She's so tanky. Really good for that engage. Oh, but there's a Jana Cassiopeia. That's very interesting. I haven't seen both of those champions in such a long time, and they fit perfectly with their comms. So much disengage. They deny the Maokai engage, the Sion can't engage, the Rakan can't engage. They have so much disengage. I think PERTINAX gonna have a little hard time. Now the last pick, Syndra against Cassiopeia.
This pick should be able to fare it. It's gonna be an annoying mid lane for either of those with all the poking that's gonna be going around.
Now we just have to see who's mid lane. I think it's just gonna see who scales harder, who scales better. But we have to see. Oh.
Yeah, so PERTINAX went for a really engage heavy composition. Oh, they also not in the right order. That happens, but a really engage heavy composition here. Like as you mentioned, the Sion, Rakan being really great engager, and Maokai as well. You know, Reapers decide to answer that by finishing up their their roundup, their team with Janna, Cassiopeia, which are already great as disengage. Sivir is also already naturally apt to disengage with a spell shield, or rather to deny the engage with the spell shield on her. Also with the ultimate, pretty good to disengage or to follow up on an engage. So I think Reapers should have the upper hand indeed there. I mean, they have the comp that's made to react, while Pertinax has the comp that's made to be active and go into there.
Exactly.
So we'll have to see how Pertinax plays around that. They'll have to be very use the ultimates or the engages very sparingly in order to be able to not have a engage be denied and still have something up their sleeves there.
Yeah, they have to be very careful with their engage, because if they mess up, they're just not gonna get to those carries. And if Xavier and Cassiopeia just can free hit Sion or the engage, whoever engages, it's gonna be very tough. So I think both of those teams have realistic chance to win, but I think it depends on who plays the engage better and who plays the disengage better.
Yeah, definitely. Because if Pertinax gets some purchase, like Reapers doesn't have a very beefy frontliner here, right? Like they have Rankton which can survive some, but like not that much. So once they find the way to the Sivir, Merlin can just snap and boom, Sivir is gone.
Exactly.
But yeah, we will see very soon how that plays out as we are headed into the game, ladies and gentlemen. First game of tonight, we have a Reapers Gaming going up against PERTINAX Esports, and I think we are in for an interesting match here.
Yeah, I'm really sharing that thought with you. I'm really excited for now. There's no engage going on, just closing a lane. Like, not even like a small cheese from the Rakan Cyan. Just playing it safe. Because they know they have a Rakan, Renekton, excuse me, who will deal a lot of damage. So they just respect it.
Yes, obviously a little cheesy tornado there.
I'm actually honestly really excited how the top matchup's gonna go. Oh,
Yes, we're back. We have a little pause on the game. Yeah, the top matchups, we have that Renekton going up against Cyan. I mean, both pretty, well, hit exchanging champions, if I can say that's, let's say so.
so I personally think the lane's who's gonna be more dominant is gonna change really quick. Like, I think in the beginning Renekton's gonna be really, really dominant against Sion. Like, it's a Renekton, it's just what he does. But as the game goes along, the Sion would just be so tanky if he goes full tank. Of course, he still could go for the Prowler build himself and just die Prowler onto Renekton and just finish him off.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he goes for the full tank hard steel build, he's just gonna be really, really tanky, and so the Renekton really has to be very dominant early game. We have a little trade
Yeah, a little
onto the
early
Janna.
engage here. Amiel already taking a lot of damage from Kyra as Makala went on to them. Small tornado to save one's own life, because we can see that Amiel is hanging by a thread, but now it's Kyra who has to believe in it. Exhaust is going to take a lot of damage from the real engage. First blood going to the Reapers Esport. Makala is going to finish off the enemy AD carry to get revenge, however.
Oh, that was so close. Oh, that was so close. Very well turned from the Reapers. I really thought they had the Janna would die, but they played it really well. First blood onto Xavier, and the kill for Pertinax went to Rakan. That's a bummer.
It's definitely not the best start there, and well, both AD carries are out of summoners now, and both supports have their secondary summoner spell off, only flash up. So that's also interesting, especially since we have both junglers, which started top side, are working towards that bot side already. So there could be interesting gank potential for both junglers here, as they're both also junglers, which can have a gank that's pretty good right off the bat.
Yeah, we might see another trade on bot lane really, really soon when both junglers should go to bot lane.
Yes, here we have
That's the mark.
Hero is already walking up to that. We have a nice
Ooh.
knock up here from Makala hitting Amiel. Well, is forced to flash away, but nice knockback to put him back in range of Cairo. Now Makala has to flash away. Both supports out a flash. Now it's Heroes who is hanging there by a thread.
Wow.
Might not
Okay,
go as well as
really,
planned.
really good turnaround from the real MJ. Really, really good turnaround. He just knows his damage, just feels, sees the Maokai overextending, knows he can chase a bit, knows that the Wukong is also on bot side.
As they
And
keep the upper hand
traded,
here.
we traded also Flash's Maokai for Janna Flash. So that's gonna be something. The Maokai we remember.
Yep. And that's really rough on Heroes now, because this gank was not fully successful. It was actually pretty equal. Is forced to back while Trinket was able to take that scuttle and finish his clear in like all ease of mind. He's now way ahead in terms of CS. He's able to put some pressure on that bot lane, is going to back and be able to get his second pass while Heroes is still finishing his first clear.
Yeah, so that's going to be really, really crucial with the flash advantage on a Wukong with flash. That's just very, very dangerous for a squishy bot lane without any summoners for at least some time now. Just a little trading on top lane. PERTINAX really cannot trade against him right now. So we already saw him trading a little bit against the Cyan, but it always just he hits him, the Cyan Qs him. So top lane is just gonna be a little farming fast.
Was looking for that W there to get some health back. Is gonna go on to Dusseldrop. Get some damage in. Does not avoid barely that knock up. That hurts a lot. But yeah, Dusseldrop being out of mana, Wind knows that he can be a little more aggressive without too big repercussions.
TP from Cyan onto top lane. We see Wukong invading Maokai actually right now. Trinkets invading heroes. He has no idea. It's actually very terrifying because if Maokai now shows up, he has no flash.
There's no flash. Trinket is full health. However, Dusseldrop does have the cryo, so that's good. Merlin going towards the jungle, however, will be catched by Trinket as well as Lolo. And with Heroes there, let's not wager that 2v2, especially since here we have Dusseldrop coming in with the train, putting a lot of damage already on the enemy mid lane as jungler, as they do get the kill on Syndra and Maokai, but now it's Trinket all alone. Trying to juke Dusseldrop, it does not really work, however.
It's a classic.
That's
great.
2-2.
That's a 2 for 2. That was a great Cyan ulti, great reaction from Dusseldrop. And I do have to respect the monkey outplay from Trinket. He tried it. We all fell for it once. Not this time.
And now Wind, knowing that he has level 6 as ranked, and he should be able to go up against Cyan. And he would not be able to try and use his own ulti to flee, so he definitely has the upper hand currently on the top lane.
So mid lane got 2 kills, both of the kills. That's going to be a little lead for Cassiopeia. So now we'll have to see.
Yeah, that is a little bit rough on Merlin.
That's a little rough on Merlin. It's going to be very difficult because Cassiopeia is just such a menace. Once she has her lost chapter, which she has, she's just going to spam her Q and her E on Syndra.
I mean, we already saw just now how quickly he cleared that wave.
Yeah. Cassiopeia is just a menace, and Lolo has just Exodia right now. 2 kills and lost chapter on a scaling champion pretty early in game.
Yes, it's already looking really good for Lolo here. Maybe we can just see Wind showing his dominance in the top lane.
Oh, but next taking first Drake is going to be a Mountain Drake. You see Wukong on Herald, just trading. objectives.
Yes. Cross map objective taking. 1 for 1. Already sets PERTINAX a little bit better into the game. I mean, they are a bit behind in gold. With that Drake, things should be a little more even on that side. And while Reapers do have the Herald, it's always a question of when you find the right time to utilize it to make it worth.
Yeah, the Herald is the more complicated objective from the two. You have to think where to place it, when to place it. And the Drake, you just have it. You get your armor and magic resist. Just get your stats for free. I think they should actually drop it on mid lane. Get that Cassio, pay her even more ahead, give her more gold, so she just runs them down. With a Conqueror, that's also something very, very dangerous. Like, she's gonna also heal a lot, not just gonna deal a lot of damage, but also heal a lot.
Oh, there's a drop coming in on the mid lane. But Lolo saw that coming. I do think it should be mid lane as well. I think that's the most interesting option right now, especially since Lolo has a pretty good clear speed already. As we saw a little bit earlier. So opening up that turret for him should definitely play into his hands. So do you think we're on the same page as then? Ooh, nice tornado here from Amiel as Real MJ is able to dish out some damage on the enemy bot lane. You have, of course, to be careful because jungler might be not too far.
Great.
Let's not tease
Janna
it.
here.
Yep, beautiful. It's again that tornado from Amiel, which does the work.
Ah, you jinxed it.
Yep, that's the caster curse.
That's the caster curse. See. Oh, just looking around on mid lane, Wukong looking. Chicken pit. A little engage from Renekton onto the Scion. He's just too tanky still.
It is a very calm game. And I do think PERTINAX should try and seek out some action somewhere. Mid lane, they're behind in farm. Top lane as well, and Wind is winning that top lane rather heavily in general. I think they should try and find the good engage somewhere, and we might have that opportunity on the bot lane now as Merlin is coming over, but Reaper's bot lane sees it coming from afar and is able to disengage very early on. Just a single flash used.
Just a flash for Rakan ulti, that's more than okay. It's gonna make it a little bit easier for later. Ah, channel too long is Q. But yeah, in my opinion, I think they should go for a 4 or even 5 man dive, just risk it onto mid or onto the bot lane, which doesn't have flash anymore. Like Janna doesn't have flash. Just risk it, just go for it. They're really tanky. Like
there we are. Cycling onto Merlin, gets a lot of damage already and falls really quickly in a matter of seconds. Here is there, but not able to react on time.
That's just the flash ulti Wukong. That's just that.
Yeah. This Trinket pulls a sneaky on PERTINAX.
Yeah. It's very, very scary.
Yes, here we have the Herald mid lane, yep.
That's the lead, just giving Cassiopeia even more gold. It's just the goal game plan for now. Oh, we see a Black Cleaver board from Renekton into the Scion.
Oof.
Just immediately saying, I'm gonna reduce, I'm gonna buy armor pen, because else I'm not gonna even scratch you once you have your armor items.
Yeah, and he's gonna probably go very aggressively. I mean, Black Cleaver, pretty good item on that Renekton, because he can get those stacks rather quickly with his W.
Yeah.
Mark line, a bit of a tight spot there.
Oh.
Yeah, there we can see Conqueror now progging. We can see the damage already falling pretty quickly on Düsseldorf, although he's very tanky.
Oh, the
Markula
engage from
is forced to use his ulti to flee, but he gets it to an engage as Merlin joins up. They get the shutdown on Lolo, who dies very quickly, but now the real MJ joining up from the bot lane is able to kill heroes, and now PERTINAX is forced to flee as Merlin is starting to drop quite low. Markula able to save the day, maybe, at the cost of his own life. No, not even. He survives. Barely, though.
Good engage. As PERTINAX right now, they just see a lot of good engages. They got the Cassiopeia shutdown. Just curious, who got the Cassiopeia shutdown? Was it Syndra? Or was it the Mauk? Because I didn't see who killed who. Either way, it's huge. Like, it was a huge engage from PERTINAX. Getting that shutdown onto someone.
Definitely, and kind of stopping Lolo in his tracks. Because he is really far ahead already, has his first item. Not a pick for the Reapers as Trinket uses Cyclone to catch Merlin, but is forced to flee now. As 3 people are falling onto him. Heroes gets him rooted twice in a row, and he should be dying at the hands of Cairo. Lolo now joining in, but is alone versus 3. Is he going to be able to pull one out? No, he is forced to flee as now Düsseldorf is also coming from the other side. That is double kill for Cairo, and now the Reapers in a really tough spot should be retreating on that mid lane. They're 3 versus 4, but no, Wayne goes in the middle of them. That's a dangerous stance to take as he's getting very low now, and that's another kill going to PERTINAX's jungler heroes. Real MJ trying to get some damage out, but has to be very careful.
Wow. Wow. That was crazy. That was really crazy from PERTINAX. Really good kiting. Just the engage from Sion held back to Severe, so denied the engage from Severe. They killed the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia stood out of position. Very unluckily out of position. Just really well played from PERTINAX. Really well reacted onto the dive from Wukong on Syndra. Just very well played. And they secured the Drake. It's gonna be Infernal Soul.
So that's really huge for PERTINAX because they're able to almost close the gold gap. I mean, you have 300, that's basically peanuts. Take a second to Drake, so that puts them in a really good position here. And especially Caro, who is starting to get some gold in his pockets.
There again, that was the Drake for Herald trade. Reapers took the Heralds, PERTINAX took the Drake. My opinion, the Drakes are unluckily more valuable than the Heralds, but it's just a very good objective to have. To get that mid tower. It's so low, and they really want it.
Yes, could at least get first turret out of it. Get that bonus gold, because trinkets, what the hell am I talking about? Platings are already off the table here.
It's just gonna be a lot of bonus gold to have. First tower gold.
Oh yeah, we can see the top matchup is starting to stagnate now, as neither of them really do big damage to the other one.
No. That's just average top lane laning. But like I already said, I think the Sion is gonna be a little bit more valuable than the Renekton, because he's just gonna be tanking so much, and his engage is just also so scary. Like, if he hits you, oh, there's an engage from Renekton.
And that's the full in engage, dropping the Fury of the Sands. Düsseldorf is already midlife, just running towards that turret, not trying to put up a fight, except at the range, cusp of the range of the turret. Is able to kind of stop Win in his tracks. But he's pretty low now. Has to be careful.
But still, he's gonna stay in lane. That's just how you do it.
That's how you do it, but he has to be careful. Win does put some damage out. Without the ultimate, of course, less of a threat, but still a threat. And here we have the engage double knock-up here on the sides of PERTINAX, as we get a lot of damage on the real MJ. Shutdown, however, going to heroes, and Amiel is able to flash away, while his AD carry was not even able to press the button.
Wow, PERTINAX right now, they just see the catches, they just see the angles, they're just fishing right now. That's crazy. That's right now PERTINAX, they had it really rough early, but now they're just coming back from that. Like,
Yeah, they're definitely setting the pace right now, taking control over this game slowly. Reapers, however, intent on stopping that, are gonna prop that Herald at the mid lane to get the turret and hopefully get at least a second charge on the tier 2. That should be possible, as no minion wave is coming. That's pretty good timing on that. Nope.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
it's
cancelled
interrupted.
it. Oh, he cancelled it last second. Very unfortunate. And Syndra takes tier 1 lane.
Yes, so they are able to redeem that first turret gold on the side of Reapers. But PERTINAX is known in this matchup to not leave one objective for free. They take another one in response.
Sign could be a little bit in danger. Oh, but no, just decides to reset.
Yes, but Twink does have Fear of the Sand, is gonna go into the trade. Is a bit unsure. Does get a lot of damage from Drop there.
Can't even scratch him right now.
Yeah, I mean, with the Sunfire, Aegis, and Steel Caps, he is pretty resistant.
He's pretty tanky. But the Cassiopeia and the Zivir are still gonna be very, very dangerous. Leandris and Kraken Slayer. Just
Oh, yeah.
so good anti-tank items.
So Makla has to be careful there. Not to get caught, but his allies are right behind him. He makes for good bait. Oh, Drop just deciding to go in between turrets too. Oh boy.
Just proxy farming.
Yeah, just proxy farming. He knows, okay, you're not damaging me. I can do whatever I want. The rest of his team is on the bot side, so he's free to go. Drake is gonna spawn, and of course PERTINAX does want it in order to get that soul point.
Yeah. We already see the sign moving for the ulti angle.
Yeah,
which is
that
gonna
is
be
looking
very
good.
important.
As his team is doing Drake, we now have Wind TPing down. Who is gonna take that Drake? It is PERTINAX, and if you have the team fight, that follows up immediately. PERTINAX, however, smart enough to not go too far into it, because Trinket is now doing the engage, and Heroes is being chased there, while Wind is starting to get ahead of the rest of PERTINAX, and separating them cleanly, all alone, like a big crocodile.
Yeah, and there's the shutdown for that very, very scary Cassiopeia. But still
Indeed.
very well played. They knew that they couldn't fight there. They just separated, ran away.
Yeah, and yeah,
Had to
you
leave
could
one.
see how frightening a Wukong is with flash up. I mean,
Yeah.
they disengaged it really early on, and he was still able to catch up to one of their members. That's scary.
It's really scary. Just so many gap closers to just stay on you to just get that ulti angle. Yeah. But still, good, well played from both teams. Drake for shutdown. Yeah, but the PERTINAX is on soul point right now, which is very, very scary for them, because Infernal Soul with such a high damage team composition, because the Siren is going to deal a lot of damage, the Maokai is going to deal a lot of damage against his AP, Syndra and Zaya. They're just damage dealers. The only one that's not gaining any value is the Rakan.
As I say, we have a very risky Baron play here, trying to sneak one in. However, they are found out as Drop comes from behind. He gets already a lot of damage. Cyclone is out now completely, and the rest of PERTINAX joining in. Trinket has to be careful. No, he gets taken down by Merlin, which did the flank, but now it's Wind in the middle of PERTINAX, which is just shredding them to bits. As Merlin now has to believe in his life, as real MJ as well as Amiel are onto him, but he could be able to turn it around now.
The Janna doesn't have ulti.
Bot lane. Alright. This looks more or less good for Reapers, which are able to take 3 kills out of this. That was definitely a dangerous Baron.
Yeah, and also a very bad, unfortunate positioning from the Scion. He just got caught, died immediately, and the Renekton just jumped onto that backline and just deleted them. So, very well played from Reapers. Very risky Baron. They still tried it, and they just took the fight, won it. And now probably really happy with that outcome.
Yes, indeed. Now Reap's taking back that pure gold lead. However, with PERTINAX being 3 drakes ahead, they are still in a more or less comfortable position. They just need to find back those small catches they did here and there, find the good engages, and then just explode the enemies as they are in for. And Reaper's just going
Baron
back
again?
for that Baron. They really want it, but they're found out very early on. How is PERTINAX gonna go about it? We have Düsseldorf already TPing in, and Reapers decide to disengage as Cyan is coming in, getting the slow trinket. Oof. Nicely dodged there. Maokai ulti. We are able to dodge the CC. Oh no, there we go. They are into us and we get really low now. Lolo already taken down. That's a lot of damage falling for Reapers. We get, however, the kill on heroes. And that's 1-2 for now. 1-1 for now.
Just side laning on the lane, so it's overall a good outcome for Reapers. Oh.
It's really good to get another turret. However, Düsseldorf does find the purchase on the mid lane, but he is all alone. There isn't a follow-up for him. We try to save him. We are there on time, but we do not get a kill from that. Quite unfortunate. Well, Wind goes for the second tier turret on the bot lane, and is probably already dealing quite a bit of damage to it.
But the Reapers might be looking for Baron again.
Yes, it does look like it.
They're looking for Baron again. They just don't want to stop. They really they need it. They want it.
They want that Baron, but it is looking pretty good. They are rather healthy. Düsseldorf is really low. Didn't have time to bag as the rest of PERTINAX did. But yeah, that's too dangerous. That Baron did a lot of damage to Trinket.
They're just keeping them on their top side. That Renekton is just they're going for it again.
It's just a distraction. Yeah, Wind is just finishing here on the bot side, but we find the engage. We get the charm on Trinket, who is already really low, but now it's Mark Lau who has to believe in it. He's in the middle of them. We get the kill on Lolo, however. Low in support is surviving, and we are taking over that Baron. Maybe. Trinket is really low, cannot go into it. Düsseldorf as well, but he has, of course, still his passive. We take the Baron here for PERTINAX. And are we able to flee now? That's the question. Oh no, they're looking for the real MJ. Well played for PERTINAX. It cost them a turret, but with a Baron, they can take back 2 turrets at least. So this might be a problem. Ooh. Shield there now. Merlin has to be careful. Oh, Zhonya's is proccing. We have a lot of damage falling from Cairo onto Wind, which does help Merlin quite a bit. Now it's the real MJ who gets a lot of damage. Rick goes for it. That's a kill for Cairo as the rest of Reapers is on the Dragon. Oh no, it's only Trinket. And he gets killed by Hero, who should be able to smite it. And that's the Soul going to PERTINAX. Baron and Soul as Wind is now being taken down. Only 2 members standing for Reapers. And PERTINAX should be able to do a lot with that.
I'm just so amazed. Reapers, they wanted the Baron one too many times. They were so low. PERTINAX reacted so well onto it. Like, wow. I'm just so amazed. And there's the catch onto the Cassiopeia.
And here we have the Tauda. They made short work of Reaper's mid laner. Take tier 2 on the mid lane while Merlin is pushing on that bot lane with that wave. Should be able to get the turret. Things are looking really good for PERTINAX right now.
It's just they're just coming back again. They said no, we want that win, and we're just gonna get it. We're just gonna take that win away. They're showing it right now. Like, it's really impressive.
Yes, they're definitely in for a comeback here on the ladder. 5k gold ahead, Dragon Soul. Things are looking really good.
I'm just still amazed by that Baron plays from Reapers. I'm still thinking about it. It's just too amazing. It was such a good distraction. Like overall, it was a really good distraction. But they wanted it. They forced it too much. One time too much.
is that's quite unfortunate because it blew back into the phase, and now, while before they were more or less even, had some ground to fight. Now PERTINAX is definitely in a stronger position here. And we can see that because Reapers are just pushed back into the base, while PERTINAX is leading a pretty big assault onto it.
Yep, PERTINAX right now just very dominant with that Baron. They have also really good wave clear. Like right now, Reapers really have to wait out that Baron, shove out those waves, just play it safe. Don't force anything, just wait. Maybe they have to fight the Elder that's gonna spawn if the game's gonna drag a little longer. But right now they just have to play it really, really slowly.
And even if, I mean, at the moment, oh no, Baron is a bit before Alda indeed, so
Just much going on right now on the map, but I'm still amazed. I'm also quite surprised that Renekton went for the more sustainy builds, like the Godrinka more build, and not like the more meta Prowler build. Like that's just really nice to see, just a classic Renekton, just a bruiser draining Renekton, and not Prowlers onto someone one-shot Renekton.
yes, I do think that's what they needed here. To get some bit of a kind of front line, so to say, so he doesn't explode.
Yeah, it's better right now. It's 10 times better right now, but it's just nice to see. Oh,
Oh, that trap is not gonna work out on heroes.
that's really difficult to do against Maokai. Like he's just gonna throw a meep into every bush he spots.
Yeah, I really like what PERTINAX is doing here. I mean, they had the Baron, and they went all in with it. They went ham, and now that Baron is off, instead of trying to force something that isn't, they calm the game, just keep farming, pushing the waves, but not looking for any dangerous place that could backfire. And that's really nice. I really liked it. They might have a catch here on Lolo, which was alone on top lane. Yes, I don't think he's going to survive that. Here comes Makala's ulti, and boom, boom, boom. No. And now they have a pick, and with one pick they can already do a lot, especially if it's on Lolo, which does still quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, huge pick for PERTINAX. Like it's gonna just give them so much pressure for now. Cassiopeia is not gonna be respawned before Baron spawns, so they have a little extra timer to be safe, the 5v4. So yeah, just a really good catch for PERTINAX onto Lolo. They're already setting up Baron, clearing vision. They're just gonna take it. Except Reapers might look for a steal with the Wukong. It's a flip. It's a dangerous flip. No,
Okay.
they just take it. Sion was just holding them back, tanking knows that he just can tank for ages, but that's the TP from Lolo.
And here we have the engage. Beautiful ulti once again from Makala, as he does keep Amiel busy here with Karo able to do a lot of damage on Real MJ, who falls like a fly. And now we have Wind taking down Merlin, Trinket all alone in between a lot of members of PERTINAX.
Good
is
flash.
able to try and flee, but no. They're gonna flash behind him, and now Wind all alone with Lolo. Are they gonna be able to do much? I doubt it, as Heroes does a lot of damage to Lolo just by jumping on him, and now Wind all alone is also not gonna end well for him. That's the ace going to PERTINAX, while Karo already went ahead to push.
That was a really well played fight. Really good TP from Cassiopeia actually to just get behind them. But they just reacted so well onto him. And the Sion is just... I'm pretty sure he put his Anathema's chain onto Cassiopeia, because that's for him personally in a teamfight the greatest threat. So he's not gonna take as much damage as he should have against Cassio. So yeah, they just played the fight really well. Really good flash from Trinket though to escape, but
Yeah.
Kairos just said no. I just take the kill. I'm just gonna use my flash to get the last hit.
Yeah, not taking any chances. And I mean, keeping Trinket alive was also a bit of a threat. They probably had in mind already, okay, we sent Kyra on that top lane to get that inhib, while the rest of us will do that Elder Drake. And with Trinket alive, there was this slim chance of them stealing the Elder Drake away, which is always dangerous because Elder Drake is really, really strong.
Yeah, Elder is actually, I think, personally the best objective you could have. It's just the finishing objective because it's you don't have to win the fights correctly. You don't have to kill them. The Drake just does it for you. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's what we said also before. Like PERTINAX, they played really slow now for a second. They did just lurked around. They just cleared waves, took some vision, created some vision. Then they saw the Cassiopeia, just instantly aggroed onto her, just caught her, killed her, and then just took Baron, and then they knew, okay, now we can fight.
Yeah, and here we have the
That's the
engage on the bot lane as Real MJ almost explodes within seconds, and here we can see the threat that Elder Drake is as they all explode one after the other. Now Emiel and Real MJ is not going to survive much longer. In a matter of few seconds, PERTINAX clears out Reaper's last defense, and they will now be shredding through that base with the Baron. And that should be game one of today, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a GG. GG, PERTINAX and Reapers.
Yes, GG, well played indeed. And that was the first game of tonight. We had Reapers against PERTINAX. PERTINAX taking the win, and in that way also equalizing with the Reapers on the overall standings, putting themselves in a good position to get back up there. Because let's remind it, they're like at the cusp of being at the top 4 here, both teams. So they should be fighting Teeth and Nail and Tooth. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. In order to get that spot for the playoffs later on. Of course, still a few weeks until then, but you're never too sure. Beautiful match they gave us, though.
Yeah, like Reapers really had the early game. Like they played really well. Like the bot lane just knew how to turn. The jungler was always lurking around. Also, Maokai couldn't finish those ganks. But next they just played it slow. They knew, okay, we had a rough early game. Also, Cassiopeia was really ahead. So we had a really rough early game. We played slow, and then they took the Drakes, they scaled, and they just waited for the perfect moment to catch someone, take an objective, and just fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like PERTINAX played it really slow, and they played it really well. But
Yes,
also
definitely.
Reapers both played well, but PERTINAX played their composition better. The engage right now was stronger than the disengage.
Yes, definitely. And once they got control of the game, they were able to just overall set the pace in the perfect way. I mean, that was a game from PERTINAX Esports, and definitely a good start for tonight's matches. But without any further ado, I would say we are going to go into break. Next game is scheduled for us at 8, so it should be a 10 to 15 minutes break, a little less than 15, a little more than 10, maybe 10. We'll see that very soon. And then we'll see each other for the next match of tonight, Ioma against Once Upon a Team. So yeah, just go grab a drink and be back for the next game, and we'll see you very soon.